You can see the water out with Tigert all up in their fields. That's pasture down there underwater. The water level on this is usually way down there. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas, and we're sharing our hobbies on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky. And today, well, I'm out just taking a look at the water because as long as we've lived here, I've not seen it this high. Now, I know it's been higher, but we have had a lot of rain in eastern Kentucky. And I think it did a little bit of damage to our place and our road, but nothing major. There are lots of counties in Kentucky that have it a whole lot worse than we do. So this is not a complaint, just kind of sharing what we're going through here. I was gonna take a run down this road here to get a closer look at the Tigert Creek here, but yeah, obviously we're not going any further. It turned into snow last night and it's gotten really cold. It's about 20 now. So, I mean, it's pretty out, but there's lots of people dealing with some hard times right now for sure. So thought I'd give you a little bit closer look at this and you know how the road's underwater, and then we'll go back, we'll check out the road at the farm and kind of do just a little bit of cleanup. We had a slip, we had some trees fall across the road, so I'm gonna have to get that cleaned up. All right, well, I've got the chainsaw. We're gonna go get the hill cleared to where we can get through so we can assess the rest of the damage. We do have some gravel on hand. There's one spot where the edge of the road fell off a little bit. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do with the gravel. Once we get this cleared off, I'll probably get the tractor and haul a little bit of gravel up here and fix the edge of the road because the whole edge of the road kind of fell off too. And there's not really any of this that I'm upset about. I don't think it's like anything to do with poor excavator work. It's just the nature of the beast. We got 3 or 4 inches of rain, and there are, you know, mudslides and slips happening all over the state. And it just is part of it when you live with hills like this. Actually, just out off the main highway, there's a big excavating company that has a road up a hill on their farm, very similar to ours, and the whole hillside slid down. It took their whole road out. There's no like easy fix for that. I mean, it like took the whole road out. So, you know, it's not anything to do with the quality of the work. It's just how steep these hills are. And of course, you know, we didn't have time to get anything planted on it, so it is what it is. So I wanted to show you here what we had for damage. So it's not really that big of a deal, but basically the mud up here got soupy and this section of the hill slid down. And it didn't quite fill in my ditch here, so that's a good thing. I'll be able to kind of clean this up, and you know, it won't be too bad. It won't affect us too bad. But you know, I got these couple of trees that are blocking the road, so I can't get through. And then we actually, this one edge right here, I'll get right here so you can kind of see the crack, but all of this settled right here. And so we dropped about 4 to 6 inches right through here. So I'll have to pack gravel in this to get it built back up and solid. But as this does this, it will pack in and get stronger over time. We've got a lot of rock in this. Most of this is going to build up, and it'll be just fine. It's just going to take some time, you know, and some work. We will probably do some things to this bank to make it stronger over time as well, but there's a lot of rock in this, and so I may get some riprap in these places that are soupy and cover it over with rock to kind of hold it all in place. I don't know what we'll end up getting into with that, but you know, right now, one, we spent all the money on the road, so we can't really afford to haul in truckload after truckload of big rock to finish this off, and it's 20 degrees, so I can't plant anything. So it just is what it is. We got to try to get through the winter, and then we'll work on it in the spring. All right, well, I think we can get on up the hill now if there aren't any more slips. So, let's see. Went ahead and stopped by the sawmill, just check everything out, make sure the covers are still on the motors of the things that are under tarps. And I'm gonna go ahead and start the sawmill because it's been a while. It's been a few weeks, and I like to just run it and let it warm up and put fresh gas in the carburetor. And it's getting there. There we go. All right, we'll just let her sit and idle for a little bit and warm up. Check out the 100% charged on the all power. That's good. Haven't had the little Ducar stump grinder running for a while, so we'll go ahead and fire it up. don't think I'm gonna take the covers off of the wood chipper or the split fire because they're covered up, and I don't want to get the exhaust hot and then have to wait for them to cool down to put the tarps back on them. So leave them under wraps. I think they'll be all right. Yeah, everything's good. Got the split fire wood chipper under tarp over there, looking nice. As soon as the weather breaks, man, equipment shed right here. That's what's happening. We got a nice pile of lumber. Oh, I can see the storm blew the metal off the top of my lumber pile here. But we got a nice stack of lumber here to build with. Everything's looking good in the wood yard. We have a new surprise coming to the main channel in the next week or two. Stay tuned. It's really exciting. And man, it'd come in handy today because it's freezing cold out here. So that's your hint. But because we're getting something brand new coming in, I want to do a few things to my trails to open them up a little bit, because they've gotten to grown out to where they're beating on the side by side a little bit, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna try to go ahead, since I've got the chainsaw with me, clear a few things out so it'll be a little bit easier to get through here. This corner's a little tight, so I'm gonna take a tree out here. Get on in there, come on. That'll be a little better there. Got a couple things I want to take out right here. All right, well, we've kind of made the loop around the main spots of the property and everything looks pretty good. We just had the one slip on the road, which is not too bad. I'm going to put the bucket probably on the little Kubota just because I can make tight turns with it and get into that ditch and maybe clear it out just a little bit. So I probably will do that, and that'll be about all the rest of the cleanup I'm gonna do for today. It is cold. Figured I'd check my overflow here. I've got a couple of big sticks in it, but pond is full, that's for sure, and cold. Everything's good. That corner back in the cove is starting to freeze over, man. And I mean, just a few days ago, we got up to almost 70 degrees out. It's winter. So all in all, I am very thankful that we came through this storm as well as we did, and praying for those who didn't, because I'm certain there are a lot of people who lost a lot in flooding. I've seen pictures on Facebook of, you know, down around Pikeville and more southern areas of Kentucky, and even over in West Virginia, where, man, the flooding's just rough. And I'm sure, you know, other places too. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. It's just that's where I know people, so I'm seeing pictures of that stuff. But yeah, all in all, we've got a lot of pretty stuff to look at. So no real big deal. I'll fix the road slip and we'll start building that stuff up, but I can't be upset with what we got out of that, because a whole lot of people had it a whole lot worse. So let's go down and get the Kubota. We'll put the bucket on it, and we'll do just a little bit of work with that, and see if we can't clean that ditch out. Fired up the BX in a while. Well, I forgot my top link pin, and I don't want to have to drive all the way back down the hill and then all the way back up the hill. So I stuck a pair of pliers in there, and that'll get me down there to a pin, and we'll swap it out, and then we'll finish this job. Okay, well, I actually did find a pin on the old tiller over there. Not really a pin, it's a bolt with a hole drilled in it, but I found a clip to go on it. And so we got the box plate pinned on. I went ahead and changed out and just put on a bucket, because there's some soup I'm gonna dig out here too. So decided there wasn't no sense in messing with the rock bucket. I just go ahead and use a regular bucket. See what we can do to get this cleaned up real quick. Now, I'm hopeful that this hillside is not too frozen for me to clean this up, but I want to get some of this soup out of here so that it doesn't clog up our pipe. The rain that we had actually opened up the pipe some, because the pipe was nearly full of mud from the last rain, because we had this little slide here and it just, the soupy mud went down into the culvert. So we'll see what we can do to clean this up first. I think that's pretty well got me in a position where this is gonna flow pretty good. The sludge is not going to plug the culvert off, and it will eventually wash itself out as we get rain down through there. So one thing about this little Kubota, and the reason I'm using it instead of the big tractor is, you know, I've got plenty of space to pull down in there, get the dirt out and turn around right here on the middle of the hillside. It would be really tough to do that with the big tractor. Now, one downside to this is I didn't know how bad this thing rode and how rough the ride was until I got that bigger tractor. Man, this thing just rattles your kidneys when you're riding around. But it does some things that you just can't do with a big tractor. All right, guys, well, that's really all I'm gonna do to that ditch line. I just wanted to get the mud out of it so that the water can flow on by. And honestly, the rest of that slip that's still there with the tree roots in it, it seems like it's pretty well locked in place, which means that will help to catch anything else that wants to slide down. So I'm gonna leave it there. It's kind of funny to stand out here because as this thaws out, you've got little rocks and pieces of mud just falling down the hill as they go. Man, steep hills and lots of water, this is what you get. So I'm definitely gonna have some work to do to figure out how to maintain this and get it at least firm enough to where it doesn't continually fill these ditches in and cause me problems every time it rains. But this was a big one. I saw some places got 4 or 5 inches. I doubt we got that much. I'm gonna say probably 3 inches or so here. But we got enough that you knew it was happening, that's for sure. Well, guys, I think that's just about gonna do it. I hope you enjoyed seeing the update in Eastern Kentucky after the rains. If you're not a subscriber, please hit subscribe on our Outdoors channel. And if you like this type of content, we do a lot more tractor work and those sort of things over on the main channel, Peaks Peak Hobby Homestead. So make sure you check that out and subscribe over there. Until next time, guys, get outside and enjoy God's creation because it's beautiful out here. You all have a good day.